Beautiful, magical Sagittarius. This is Tammy from Spot On Psychic Readings, and I just want to say I definitely have the best viewers in all of YouTube with you all watching. Thank you so much for all of your likes and subscribing to the channel and all of your nice comments and your support. And a lot of you have sent me super chat thanks, and that was just such like icing on the cake. Thank you so much for that. I just want you to know how much I appreciate you, like very deeply appreciate you. So I'm going to jump in and do your reading, and please know it is a collective reading, so it may not fit for everybody every time. May not be your reading this time, and if it's not, check back again, okay? So, and please watch to the end, because tarot readings build. They build on themselves, and then I get more and more clarification, and I have no idea what's coming out, so I can't give it to you in the very beginning. So it's all a surprise to me too, okay? So I'm going to pull these by feel today, Sag, and thanks for coming in to join me again. If you've been here before, and if you're new, I'm really glad to see you, okay? All right, so here we go. Sag, let's dive into your reading. Oh, I got the goosebumps already. All right, so let's see. Goosebumps is that big time psychic energy that I'm picking up on from all of you. A lot of psychics in my Sagittarius audience, and welcome back if you're there. I'm always happy to read for psychics, and even if you're not a psychic, if you're Sagittarius, you definitely have intuitive abilities. So let's see here. I always feel like I'm in the community of psychics when I tune into you guys. So this will be for mid-August for you all, and August, the month of 2 full moons. Yeah. All right, all over in the top. And this one. A lot of heavy energy, not heavy energy, but really good energy on that one. So let's see what's coming up. I'm using the Starseed cards because I know so many of you Sag vibe with these cards, and also you're very multidimensional, which these cards cover, and I like that. So I thought that you would too. I'm Sagittarius as well, so I really do vibe with these Starseed cards, okay? This is Breath of the Cosmos, and trying to follow your will, but also Spirit's will, okay? And micromanaging the universe. So this is you manifesting, Sag, and this is you really focusing on your thoughts. This is you tuning into the divine, okay? This is you tuning into Spirit and following your divine path, okay? And I would say that's what's significant for you coming up in August, all right? That's the biggest thing, is this really strong connection with you and Spirit, you know, coming up this month, like really strong. And I mentioned the full moons earlier, but seriously, that's going to be a real pull, you know, towards you connecting with Spirit in this month. I mean, I feel it. My whole body's like buzzing right now. I just feel this like intense connection with Spirit on your behalf in August, if that makes sense, okay? It's like channeling through me right now so strongly. I mean, it actually makes me get a little teary-eyed. I'm feeling a little choked up right now. It is going to be, it's going to be a wild ride. I feel like for you, Sag, this month is going to be a wild ride, but it's also going to be intensely beautiful. I feel like some things are going to happen that are going to be really amazing for you. We'll see what else is in the cards. So much stuff was channeling through. I wanted to give it to you. I like to give people, when I read for you, everything that I get. You know, I don't hold back anything. I don't sugarcoat it. I'm just letting it flow, okay? So this is having to do with maybe a little bit of a conflict for you. We'll see how this goes, but it's the star bathing card, okay? And this is having to do with your light body and your crystal grid, okay? Transmission and activation. So you're being activated on that 5th dimensional energy. Here's what the guides are telling me right now is the reason this might be a bit of a conflict for you this month is because there's a lot of ascension symptoms going on, you know? Are you guys feeling like, are you getting headaches and things like that? I know a lot of people, especially people on the spiritual path right now, are getting almost flu-like symptoms, you know, There's apparently a lot of radiation that's coming in from the sun right now because of a lot of solar flares, for one thing. And of course, those solar flares upgrade us, you know. And there's a lot going on with this activation of your light body, as shown in this card. And I wonder if you all are getting like headaches or feeling like you just can't stay awake, you know, feeling like you've just got to take a nap. Some people have said they're like working their chores around nap times because literally like they just can't stay awake. Some people have said their pets are really sleepy or their pets are not feeling well. There's been this strange like nausea sometimes with these headaches. There's a lot of symptoms that people have been talking about that is going along with this activation. So this is exactly why this is showing up as a potential conflict card for you for the mid-August, okay? So coming up futuristically, we've got the blue flame, okay? And this is spontaneous awakening, more activation, and integration of time. And this is divine timing, and look at that blue light. Interesting stuff there. I had this experience a while back. It's been a long time ago actually now, where the blue light actually visited me and turned into a lotus flower. I'll have to do a whole video on it sometime, but it makes me think of that, and it was very much an awakening experience, and I feel like this is going to be for you all. And this is if it hasn't all happened already, and if it has, there's more to come. Okay, there's a lot more. So this is what I see kind of in your aura. This is kind of like hovering over you. You know, it may be in your mind, it may be in your, you know, spiritual chakras, your higher chakras, that kind of energy. You may also be visited by this blue light. Okay, I'd love to hear about it if you are. There's this feeling of maybe being alone, and this card says you're not alone. Okay, and sometimes star seeds are kind of out here floating around in this earth energy, just feeling like misfits sometimes, you know. Sometimes star seeds, sometimes Sagittarius in particular, feels like nobody gets it. Like you're looking for somebody to talk to who has more depth, you know, somebody who really understands what's going on, somebody who you know, can understand this whole star seed thing. Or if you're an empath, and of course star seeds and empaths all, you know, a lot of that goes together, as you know. And you know, empaths is where you're feeling other people's feelings. You know, you might walk in a room and catch a headache from somebody over in the corner that you haven't even talked to, you know, just because you feel their energy. You read the room when you walk in. So this is you feeling like you might be alone. You might be feeling isolated. You might be lacking physical connection with people at this time, and you might be lacking community. But what they're saying here is that as you do more and more activation, so will other people, so you won't be quite as isolated. But there is validation of the feelings of being kind of alone, you know, in this sort of ascension process, and being an empath sometimes, all of that can be isolating, you know, Sag. So there it is. This is trust the timing, and they're saying trust the wave that you came in on. Time is not running out. And I know some of you may be feeling like time is running out, like you're not getting done everything you want to get done. And you may be feeling like you just aren't hitting the timing right. You know, maybe you felt like you've missed opportunities. Maybe you feel like you're too old. You know, you've missed the boat on things. But this is saying your time's just now coming in. You know, this is about catching that next wave. There's always another wave behind, you know, the first one. They come in constantly. And this is about you catching that wave of divine timing. Okay, so I know there's something that you all, many of you have been waiting for something to happen, and they're saying the time is now. The time is coming. And again, I'm doing this reading for mid-August, so I would say mid-August is going to be an important time frame for you. A couple of final outcomes on this, and then I'm going to pull some traditional tarot cards to get you more details. But this is your soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. And Sag, I know many of you felt like you've done this before, and because you have. You know, you're an old soul. You've done this a lot of times. You have a lot of inner wisdom. You have a lot of knowledge that you brought with you. You know, a lot of inner wisdom. And there's a portal. There's sort of a gateway and a portal you can see in this card. And of course, that's having to do with an energy portal that you bring in a lot of memories and a lot of skills you've learned before. They're still in you, in your DNA. They're on a cellular level for you, okay? And you're bringing those in through that energy. You may know things that you didn't learn in this lifetime, but you know them. You already knew how to do them, or you learned it extremely fast, and people are like, how are you doing that already? Because you already knew. You brought a lot of stuff with you, Sag. This is learning how to be human and be in the world, but not of it. Okay, so learning how to be human, being earthed, is this card, being earthed, and being in this world, but not of it. And I know a lot of you, myself included, definitely vibe with that. It's like, why am I here anyway? Why are we here? And we're here because of this ascension process. We're here to help upgrade all of humanity. You know, your presence here, whether you're actively working with people or not, just your presence as a light worker is helping to upgrade everybody's ascension. You know, we're all connected. We are all connected. Let's see what's coming here, Sag, on a more earthy level with these cards. Oh, you got a lot of jealous people around you, Sag. 5 of Wands energy. You know, there's competition. I feel like people are jealous of your multidimensionality. They're jealous because you know things. I feel like sometimes people are put off by Sagittarius because, Sag, you kind of see through people, you know. They feel naked in your presence. I mean, it's like you just see the depth of them. You know, like I said earlier, it's hard to find people that will go to that depth in conversation or in anything, in any sort of feeling. It's hard to find people that will, you know, go the extra mile, that will go beneath the surface. Everybody, you know, so many, not everybody, but so many people want to stay up here, and Sag wants to take the deep dive and, you know, talk about what's real, and it really puts people off, but it also makes people very jealous. I feel like you've got some really jealous enemies. I feel like you've had some people, or still do have some people, that are trying to put you in some kind of a competition. You know, it's always competing with Sag. You know, why is this working out for Sag? Or how does Sag know that? You know, I get a lot of that competition thing around you. You have walked away from that, Sag. Here is the 8 of Cups. You're like, I'm not doing that. You know, Sag is really not going to compete. You know your worth. You don't need to compete for it. And if somebody can't see your worth, you're like, okay, fine, bye. I'm out of here. You know, Sag normally is not a jealous sign. You know, the jealousy normally comes from other people towards Sag, because Sag is kind of like, see ya. You know, gonna ride off into the sunset, do your own thing. So I see you doing that. It looks like you have ridden off to the sunset, but it looks like it's still causing a little bit of a conflict for you. Yeah, because there was a 10 of Swords. There was something that a lot of you had to go through. This is, you know, a sad loss. This is an unexpected and unfair loss in a lot of ways. Something ended, and it was a bad ending, you know, but it was something that you had to walk away from because of that competition that was in your life. And this is a love offer. So I get 2 things about this. This is about a new love offer coming in, but also I think some of you walked away from a love offer because of competition. So take it as it resonates, because this one I can see it kind of, there's a Y in the road. It's like, yeah, some of you had that happen. Some of you had this happen, okay? And again, in a collective reading, please take it as it resonates for you, because, you know, it won't fit for everybody, like I said earlier. For some of you, there's a Queen of Wands energy. Let me ask more about this Queen of Wands, because Queen of Wands is very magnetic, very warm figure. For some of you, that's who you're going to meet with this love offer. For some of you, that represents you, Sag, okay? Somebody, it's either you or somebody very close to you who's very warm, very organized, very, you know, this is a queen kind of energy, so she's in control, she's in charge. and she does career and home, you know, sort of thing. She can be a great homemaker. She can also be great at her career, or both. She's kind of the superwoman of the deck. So you're either going to be meeting her and there's a love offer, or that's you, Sag. That's your energy right now, and you're having a love offer come in. Also, for some of you, this can be fire sign energy. You know, for some of you, Leos, other Sages, you know. So take it as it resonates. Some of you have really walked away from an oppressive situation, okay? This is Eight of Swords. I always feel like this card is such the card of entrapment. I feel like some of you got out of a trap. Some of you were really in a situation where you just felt like you couldn't see your way out of it. Like, where's the door? And you walked out of that. If you didn't, you're getting ready to, Sag, because it's still there. I mean, it's still showing up in the energy, like something's still happening for some of you with this Ten of Swords and feeling kind of stuck, you know. So this Ten of Swords energy, where there was a bad ending, may have left you feeling like you still can't quite find your way out of it. Some of you may still be going there. You know, it depends on where you're at, you know, in your own personal cycle, but some of you are going through that. Some of you are just feeling like you're on the wrong planet. In general, it's like, what am I even doing here? You know, I'm not really of this world. And, you know, again, having to do with your light body activation. You know, there's a lot going on here. This is the thing that I find really interesting with Sag in particular. I mean, a lot of the signs, you know, if you're a cross watcher, I mean, a lot of people, you know, this will happen for them. But with Sag, I really do see it a lot, like you're here and you're there at the same time. Like you may even be having parallel lifetimes happen, Sag, where you're feeling like, yeah, I'm living on this earth plane, but I got this whole other life going on somewhere else in my dream state. And that can cause a real conflict in earth relationships, you know, because you're here and there. You're in both places, and this person is not. So it's really frustrating, and it may feel very oppressive, like you want out of it, because whoever you're with, again, maybe up here on this, you know, more shallow level, and you're way down here or way out there, and it's it does create a conflict a lot of times, you know. And all this activation of your light body is just adding to it, you know, especially if you're getting the headaches and all that stuff. And there's just a lot. There's a lot coming at all of us, actually, at this time. This month has been intense. I'm not going to kid you about it. This month has been very intense, as you know. I'm sure you felt it. Let me know in the comments if you felt it. So, Sag, here's where you're headed, and I think this goes along with a lot of these starseed cards. This is the Ace of Swords, and this is really having to do with you cutting out what doesn't work. You're like, I'm done. You know, this Eight of Pentacles, this Eight of Cups, Eight of Cups came up. You know, you're like walking away from stuff that doesn't work for you anymore. The more you activate your light body, the more, you know, the higher you go into ascension, the more you're like, I'm not doing that crazy earth stuff anymore. Why would I do that anymore? It doesn't, you know, it doesn't hold the same meaning, and maybe it never has for you. You know, maybe you played along a lot with things that just didn't work, and now you just can't do that anymore. So there's a lot of you just really cutting out things that you don't want to do. And again, trust the timing, because you haven't run out of time. As you cut out things that don't work for you, what's going to happen is you're going to have time to do the things that are really important, okay? And they're giving me images right now, Sag, of a lot of you want to like write a book, you know? You have, wow, get the goosebumps on that. Really big goosebumps. They're really emphasizing, a lot of you have some really amazing information based on your multidimensionality that you need to write in a book, and you want to. You know, I feel that you want to, and you're just like, can't get the time. So the more that you cut out what doesn't work, the more you'll have time to do that, okay? So let me get, let's check this real quick. Let's look at your spirit animals real quick, Sag, because I've got so many goosebumps right now. There's a lot of writers out there listening to this. I'm really excited about that. I just feel it so strongly. I feel like some of you are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go do it right now. I'm just going to stop right now and go start writing that book. You know, there's some information, and if it's not, it's something coming from your hand. So if it's not writing, it may be some of your artists, and you're going to really dive into your artwork. And there's something there with you really doing something really special. Some of you are going to do some really special work with animals. You know, that's why I picked up these animal cards. Wow. Okay. That's why they said pick these up. I have a bunch of cards here. They said pick these up. Okay. So let me see what's in the animal spirit cards, because some of you are really connected to animals, and you're going to be doing some sort of really important work, communication, or writing a book about communication, animal communication, that sort of thing. Yeah. Okay, the orcas. So, Sag, this is the orcas, and I'm going to read the meaning, but also, I already know this has a lot to do with sound. Okay, orcas represent sound frequencies, and some of you are really sensitive to sound frequencies, and the animals are very, very sensitive to sound frequencies. And some of you are going to be helping animals in that way, okay? Either protecting them from frequencies, or communicating with them through frequencies, or you may be some sort of a sound therapist, you know, for people. You may be, a music therapist. You may be a musician. So there's something here. You may, instead of writing a book, you may be doing a new recording, writing a new song. There's something there, Sag, as you put away things that you don't want to do anymore, that don't mean what it used to mean or never meant anything to you. The more you get that stuff out of your way, the more you're going to just dive right into your multi-dimensionality. You could just bring it to the surface and fly with it. It's going to be amazing. This says, dare to do the things differently. Sing your wild song. Manifest your travel dreams. So this is a lot about travel for some of you. Attempt the great journey with confidence. Be loyal. Friends and family are your treasures. Be brave. You are more powerful than you know. And I'll just leave you with this. Before I started this reading just now, as I was tuning into Sag, I was like, Sag is taking back their power. You know, and I've said this in previous readings, but I heard it, you know, like right before I, clicked on the video to start recording, I was like, Sag is taking back their power. You know, and that's a really good feeling. You know, when you do that, you could fly with it. You know, you got your full power back because you walked away from this Ten of Swords situation that was draining your energy, and now you've got full power again, Sag, and you're really coming into who you really are. You know, you're ascending. A lot of you really understand this portion of you that is a star being. You know, that you're out there, you're light being, you're star being. A lot of you are of the angelic realm. I mean, there's just a lot of multidimensionality here, and the more you tune into that, as you know, the more you can bring forth your true soul purpose. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that today, and I've had the goosebumps the whole time. I don't know if you could see my arms. I'm like one big goosebump. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming in. I love you guys, and I can't wait to read for you again. Okay, so check in. I'm usually here on Sundays or Mondays, depending on how my Wi-Fi cooperates. Okay, so have a good one. Love you all. Bye.